Hey, it's DocJen, and I'm just going to give you a few tools as to what you can do for your bunion. So if you notice anything kind of popping out here on the side of your big toe. Now, keep in mind that we did a podcast on this, on the Optimal Body podcast, and we'll link that. I think that's here somewhere. We'll link that to the video that you can go to understand more about bunions, where these come from, why you might get pain. Is it something that just runs in their family? Is there something else that you can do? So we go over a lot more of like the studies, the research, and what you can do for your bunions. But right now, I just want to talk through a couple tools that you can use to kind of help first with your pain. So first, let's talk about let's talk about the Naboso. Now, these are what's called their toe splay, and look at just how much stretch. I have never had toe spacers that have this much give and mobility within them. So don't say that your foot won't be able to fit it, because I guarantee that it would. Now, all you have to do, they're so comfortable too. Like, I wish that you could feel this. It's so easy to move. It's so pliable. It doesn't feel restrictive. And I think that's the main thing. A lot of toe spacers that I've seen before, they're really big. They're really uncomfortable. Especially if you're not used to toe spacing, it could be really aggressive. So these are very mild and just help to open up the toes in a nice, easy manner. And this you only have to use for about 10 to 15 minutes every single day. If you use these 10 to 15 minutes every single day, you'd be surprised how much your toes already start to be able to open up. Now, this is for pain, because us just moving the big toe here is really just getting at the symptom. But what is deeper here is what's happening on the inside of this foot. So this bone that connects up into the big toe is actually shifting. It's shifting to the side. And so as a result, your big toe goes in. So if we're just addressing what's happening at the toes, we're actually not addressing what's happening in the middle of that foot. And so that's why you can wear the toe spacers for pain relief, for kind of some symptom reduction. And I do still recommend 10 to 15 minutes for anyone. I wear these. I don't have bunions and I don't want bunions. So I wear these 10 to 15 minutes every day. However, after that, we then have to think about what are we going to do to increase the stability of the foot. So we're looking at the mobility of the toes, the stability of the foot to help when this bone is shifting out. Now, are we going to move the bone? Probably not. However, can we add some support and stability to what has already happened? And the answer is yes. So we're going to stand up to do that one. Now, what we want to look at here is first, how's our balance? Just in general, shoes off, no socks. Can you stand on one leg? Okay. Arms out to the side, just beside you. Does your hip drop when you do that? Or can you stay pretty stable? What's happening with the foot? Are you noticing like a lot of wobbling happening? If you do, probably some midfoot instability. Okay, try the other side. Now, a good way, if you're like, I can do this, this is no problem, close your eyes. It's just a little bit more of a challenge to really see, okay, what's happening when you take your visual input out, and what happens to those muscles that now have to work internally to drive that balance, because your vision is now gone. Okay. So it's a good way to kind of see, okay, how do I wobble, or how's my foot? How's my hip? Does my hip kind of pop up? Could be some hip stability issues. Okay. And when we work on the foot, a good way is thinking of the exercises that you actually do for the hips as well. Because anything that I do to build my hip strength, single leg balance, single leg exercises, I need my foot to be involved as well. Okay. So beyond just balance, let's try to get control of this foot. So using what's called a short arc exercise is really important. Now, you could do this sitting. You don't have to do it standing, but just trying to think of pulling this ball of the big foot toward your heel. Okay. You're not going to do that by crunching in your toes. You're actually going to do that by just thinking of drawing those bones together. So I can actually feel underneath this mat here that I'm drawing the mat together. Drawing it together. Now, my toes stay straight. My arch is lifting, and it's almost as if I'm pulling this bone toward the outside. So again, it's almost as if pulling this bone toward a little bit out. So my leg is trying not to move, but this bone is lifting up, out. I'm trying to put this ball of the big toe toward my heel. And at first you're going to say, what? It's going to feel really confusing for your brain to try to connect this. But over time, the more that you do that, you're going to start to feel. And at first it might be like, oh, my toes really want to lift, or my ball of the big toe really wants to come off the floor. We're trying not to have that happen. And we're trying to just get the arch of the foot to really start to engage, to really start to work here. Okay. This is going to help to bring that awareness from the brain back to the feet to help with that stability. Because now once I have this connection, now I can use it. So I can spread my toes. That's the toe mobility. I can stabilize into my foot. That's the arch that I want to create. And then I can go into things like squats, things like lunges, things like single leg balance. Okay. And have a lot more support and stability throughout my entire foot, because now my toes are more open from the toe spacers. My foot is now active from that short arc exercise, and I can use my foot. Now, we lose the access and the connection as much when we're wearing socks and shoes. So my recommendation is to get shoes that allow you to feel the ground, allow you to feel your foot. And that's why I love Vivo Barefoot. Now for both of these, for the toe spreaders, for the Vivo Barefoot shoes, I'm going to drop the links below. We do have discount codes. It's going to give you a great discount on any of their products. And then for the shoes, we do have a discount code, which is highly recommended. And if you listen to our podcast, our audio podcast, there is a little bit more of a special discount. So go to the Optimal Body podcast and you can find that discount. But these shoes, they are barefoot for a reason that allows you to feel the ground. Now, we also, on the podcast, we can link it, again, somewhere around here. We can link to the podcast that we did with a functional podiatrist. So this isn't just a physical therapist who's ranting and raving about this, but a podiatrist talked about how important shoes that are able to move, that are more barefoot, allow you access into your feet, and are actually better for you than just slapping on orthotics and living with that the whole rest of your life. Orthotics can be supportive if needed at first, but they shouldn't be something that you always have to live with. So something that moves. See how this whole shoe really moves, so that my foot is going to have movement and feeling. Also, the other great thing about this is that it's a wide toe box, and I can feel the difference now when I put my feet into regular shoes. You notice that it doesn't have the room for the big toe. It automatically moves in usually on regular shoes. So the thing about the Vivo Barefoot, it has not a wide toe box, a wide toe, wide toe for a regular toe spread. And that's what we want for the foot. Because when my toes have access to their mobility, then my inner foot is going to have access to the control so that I can actually use everything. Now, adding in things like single leg deadlift, reaching toward the ground, coming back up, reaching down, coming up. If that is really difficult for you right now, hold on to a table, hold on to a wall, something around you. But getting into the habit of being able to build this single leg strength and stability, which again is going to take it all the way from the foot up into the hip, is so crucial. So for bunions, just to repeat and wrap up, we need that mobility for the toes. Grab your Naboso, links below. Grab your Vivo Barefoot shoes whenever you're doing workout or just walking outside if you can tolerate it. If you can't quite tolerate it, it's something that you need to build into. So give yourself time to adjust into barefoot shoes if you've used cushion shoes or orthotics for so long, right? It takes time to build into so that you can build the stability and strength of your foot. There has been research that's shown that someone who wears Vivo Barefoot shoes over 6 months of wearing them has built up 60% of their foot strength. An increase in foot strength that big just from 6 months of wearing Vivo Barefoot shoes is pretty incredible. So get access to your feet, learn how to move your feet, learn how to move your toes. learn how to build a strength in the bottom of your foot, and you're going to help what's happening at your bunions. Even if it doesn't change the structure of what it looks like right now, it's going to change the function of how your foot moves, feels, and the pain that you have. So comment below. Let me know. Are you on your barefoot journey? Are you doing toe spreads? I talk about this stuff a lot. So comment below. Let me know what you're doing and make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss out on future ones. If you love what you're learning, don't forget there's so much more that I have in store. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos so that you don't miss anything and you continue to learn and feel amazing within your body.